Are the Baltimore Ravens less of a threat to beat the Kansas City? I should probably word that better. I'm not gonna lie.
Nickson's getting fired up just hearing this.
I'm just like, where is this going? I'm like, how did it go from there to there?
I saw Nickson
I'm
do
not
it. I'm
gonna-
like, oh my god.
I said that backwards. With Stefon Diggs, are the Houston Texans more of a threat to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC playoffs next year than the Baltimore Ravens?
What they did was they took kind of the opposite approach of us, where they're like, we're gonna go out, we're gonna outscore everybody. Because realistically, I felt like what the Texans needed a lot going into next year was front seven. They were terrible against the run. You know, their linebacking core is one of the worst in the league.
They didn't have a run game.
They didn't have a run game. And I felt like they needed kind of to build more girth on their team. Like
They got Joe
needed,
Mixon, though. They got Joe Mixon.
Yeah, but especially more so on the defensive side, because like in the playoffs, like the reason why they lost to us is because we just ran the ball down their throats. Like Lamar ran for like 150. I felt like if I'm the GM of the Texans, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to focus on maybe deep tackles, interior linebackers. Maybe I get me a strong safety that's good at tackling, or stuff like that. But they said, fuck it, we're gonna get even more offensive firepower. We're just gonna focus on outscoring people. But I don't know if I would say in a playoff setting.
You're talking about they were already facing you guys in the second round of the playoffs.
No, I see why that's a question. Like,
and now they got Stefon Diggs and Joe Mixon.
I see why that's a question. I just feel like in the playoffs, you have to have a defense that's going to be able to make that very important stop, and they don't have that.
CJ now, and not to say like Nico Collins, he came out of nowhere in a sense, like production wise. Nobody knew he was going to be able to produce that much. The defense almost really just had to make one or two stops that just forced the offense to make a mistake. Because once they went up one score and the other team started panicking, the Browns, Joe, he's going to throw picks. And the Colts, same thing we mentioned. They're going to throw picks because their offense is so scary. But like Nickson says, I think if they beef up their defense, I think they're going to be a crazy team to deal with. Because CJ Stroud is truly a gamer.
He's legit.
That the team is so young, and having a player's coach is so big. And I think that's why Sean McVay was really successful early on with the Rams. Obviously, the season wasn't the greatest this past season, but I'm a true believer in that, like, he's feeding into the culture of the players. So I think that's huge, and I think he definitely values CJ's opinion, and that's why they've been so successful.